Alright, so last couple videos I showed you about taking the boards off the back of these. Toss these into aluminum breakage and roll on. That is the quickest money for your time. But now I'm going to show y'all how to take these apart and actually get everything out of it to get the most money from them that's possible. So if y'all stick around, I'll show you what it's about.
Rock bottle on the track, boy.
Alright, so most of these run the same size. Well, the small hard drives. And the large hard drives run a different size for taking everything out. But that's definitely a lot faster than doing it by hand. So that's quite helpful. Now, there's almost always at least one hiding somewhere. Sometimes there's two. There it is. Sometimes you'll find a screw in the back here that holds the pin in, or that arm. And after you take the screws out, you take this off. So these I've found to be, I have ran across a couple that were aluminum. Very, very, very few. Most either go into the shred pile, or they go into the stainless steel pile. They're going to be one or the other. So that's when your magnet comes in handy. I may not have one sitting around here. If your magnet sticks to it, then it goes to the shred pile. If it doesn't stick to it, 9 times out of 10, it's stainless steel. You get paid higher for stainless steel, so keep them separate. So that gets you to the inside. That's got those little funny screws. And this is where you really get to burning some time trying to find all this stuff and having to swap back and forth between this, that, and other. And this might do it, maybe. Yeah, I don't even have anything that'll take that out. So that one's kind of weird. But as you can see, I took screws out, so this will pop out. This is your magnet. Your arm here, some of them, as I said, have a screw in the bottom. This one does not. Some of them you can put a screwdriver in on the top and unscrew it, and some of them you just have to pry underneath and snap them out. For some reason they're just hooked on there somehow. And you've got cord that runs over this piece, and this is where it gets its information from. So you can see that's gold pins there. There's supposed to be a fine gold wire that runs down the side of this. And sometimes you can get some gold or a chip off of the side here. And then this would be aluminum. This wire right here, I very seldom have actually seen this to be copper. This is normally aluminum wire coated in the stuff to make it look copper. So not a whole lot of value there except for the gold. If you've taken the screws out, there's another one there. Then you can get the other piece of the magnet out. So I've heard people say these sell online. I went online and priced them like most everybody else had them priced and haven't got a hit on them yet. And that's been like 6 months ago. So the bigger ones out of the hard drives, the desktop hard drives, those you could use to make a slide for testing silver if you wanted or something like that. But it's not, you know, you can make some decent money doing that if you like, I guess, woodwork or whatever. Then normally you take these out here. These sell for, I think it's 25 cents a pound or something like that. It's not much. I always scratch them to be sure that I've, you know, damaged it so nobody can get the information off. And that's nothing but running a screwdriver across it. As you can see, they break kind of easy. Some are glass, some are aluminum. It just depends. If you're going somewhere that buys them, great, take them. If not, just throw it into shred. As I said, I can't get this off, so it's kind of stuck in here. This will go into aluminum breakage. This right here, you can punch the motors out. Just put a hole punch on there, set the two sides on something. Kind of like that. Set a punch on there, whack it with a hammer, the motor comes right out. You can throw it in motors. So nothing too complicated. And then you've always got these on the back. I say always. I've run across a few that were maybe silver coated or something like that instead of gold. But if you can get a screwdriver up underneath the edge on one side, most of the time you can grab it and peel the whole thing off, and then you have that to recover your gold from. If y'all can see the gold that's on there. So that's the stuff that I like to get. So these, I just take the board off, I pull that piece off, and then I smash it from this side with a hammer to bust that disc, and I throw the rest in aluminum breakage. They're small, there's not much in them. I do have a decently large collection of these. I've got like 2.5 gallon buckets full, something like that, with a stack over there that's not in a bucket. So at some point I may try to recover the gold out of that. Of course, they'll have to be cleaned up. And we will switch to the desktop hard drive now that we've done the laptop. Again, there's always at least one hiding somewhere. And if you can peel that whole thing off, if it's stainless under here, you want that clean stainless price if possible anyway. Pry this up and open. Again, test it, see if it's stainless or if it's just steel. Stainless is a different price. Here's what the inside of these look like. there's going to be a few more screws, and of course they're going to be smaller. You want to make it easy, make everything the same size. These that Shark Scrapper found are definitely the way to go. And that's the size of the other one. So Shark Scrapper has these listed in his videos down in the information section. There's a link, take you right to them. You can buy them. Super easy. This is definitely the way to go. This makes this go a lot faster and a lot smoother. So these are normally aluminum. So you can throw that in with a clean aluminum. Test them though, there are some that are something different. This is going to be aluminum. Now, I didn't check. This might be one of them that's got that screw back here. So, looks like it is. So for this one, you can take this screw out right here, and that needle will just fall right out the other side. It makes it a lot easier. Oops, if we take the magnet off that's holding it. So now see, this will come right out of there. You can push on the back side, it pops that loose. So you've got that part. Discs fall right out, no problem. They're spaced. Again, aluminum normally. That's going to be aluminum. Always damage the disc. Make sure there's no possible way anybody can read anything off of them. And then you're left with this. So it looks like there would be 2 more screws holding it. And here's this magnet. Be careful with these. If you put your finger between them, it will bite you big time. They are super strong. So that gets you down to this point. So we've basically taken everything out the inside. You do need to kind of run a magnet on the inside just to check and be sure. Sometimes there is a steel pin in here. You want to go ahead and take everything out of it. And I do mean everything. Some of these yards get super picky. And if they find one that has anything on it, they're going to change you from aluminum, cast aluminum price to aluminum breakage. And you're going to lose, you know, 30, 40 cents a pound, something like that. So there's a couple different types of motors you'll find in these. Some of these motors, there'll be a couple screws in here on a ring. You can take those screws out and the motor comes right out. The others, again, put you a punch right there. Set it up on top of something, put you a punch there. Whack with the hammer, the motor will come right out the other side and you can throw that in with motors. You got to check all the sides to make sure there's nothing on it anywhere. Anywhere there's something, you want to make sure you take it off. Look at all those labels and this sticker's being a pain. And I mean, if you're doing this like a whole lot, you could probably just take those and put it underneath a wire brush, and a wire brush would probably take those labels right off of there. Instead of struggling with them like this, because some of them can be a real pain, and some of them are pretty easy. I normally go through and just pull them up on one side and go back through. I mean, technically it's aluminum, so I mean, I guess you could put it in to the aluminum, but I don't think the weight from these would make much of a difference. A little bit left right here, and a little bit left right here. Alright, so I almost missed that one. It's easy to miss them. So it looks like all the sides are clean of stickers. This is clean from stickers. The inside's clean from stickers. So the only piece that's left, other than punching the motor out, and I'm inside, so I don't have the stuff with me to punch it out, is this. And I normally get the screwdriver underneath it and bend it on up, and she'll break off normally. Normally, not always. Most of the time you bend it backwards, it comes right off pretty clean. And then I take the ends right here where there's gold on the ends, and I will just cut that part off. And then you end up with the 3 ends here that are gold to add to your stash to recover gold from. The rest of that piece I'll toss into the shred. All the screws I toss into the shred. And you can either toss that in aluminum breakage or put a punch right there and pop that out. A lot of times this piece will come off without the windings. You can just stick a screwdriver in there and pry them right out. But basically that's it. That's going to be how to get the most money for these that you can, especially if you're going to recover the gold. But that's not everybody's way of doing it. It might eventually not be my way of doing it, but as of right now, I don't have overhead to pay, so this is how I'm doing it to get as much money as I can to try to use it to start the business. And recover as much stuff out of it as I can. If you toss it into aluminum breakage, they're going to grind it up. They're going to take the metal and all the other stuff out of it anyway. You're just basically not breaking it all the way down for them and making them have to do it, so therefore they don't pay you nearly as much money. But again, talk to your scrapyard, see what they're allowed. My scrapyard, one of my scrapyards didn't do that, and I went down and showed them, you know, what's in it and that kind of thing. Same thing with the power supplies, and he said, yeah, I'll give you aluminum breakage for that because they're going to run it through a shredder anyway, and you take everything else out of it, so, you know. But basically that's it. If there's any questions, let me know, and we'll see y'all next time. GoPro, stop recording.